Today is May 2nd, 2025. That means that 30 years ago today, 30 years ago, a friend of mine was disappeared and murdered. And the really frustrating thing about that is I know exactly who did it. I'm almost positive of how he did it. I know who helped him clean it up. I know where they put her body. I know where they took her body that night. I know who else they involved to help get rid of her. I have a very, very strong suspicion of where they put her body. And the crazy thing about all that is I'm not the only one that knows. A lot of people know. In fact, one of the guys wrote a full confession in the police office in Spanish Fork. We'll drive by. Wrote it out, wrote what happened, then thought better of it, crumpled it up, and threw it away in the wastebasket. That's inadmissible for some reason because he didn't notarize it and have it signed properly, so they couldn't use that against him somehow. So for 30 years, these three douchebags have just gone about their lives, had happy, fun times, gone to Disneyland, had jobs, had families. Meanwhile, Kiplyn Davis, my friend, hasn't been able to do anything. Her family hasn't been able to move on. Her family still lives in the same house. They kept the front porch light on at that house every single night since. I want to tell you what I think happened to her. And before I do, I need to say all of this is alleged. All of this is my conjecture. All of this is my experience firsthand, having been in these places with these people at the time that this happened. Do you want to hear this story? Here we go. I wish I could tell this part of the story at our high school, but they tore it down because it was old or whatever, but it looked like this. This is the front of it. This is what we called the rock because it was a rock. This is where a dude named Rucker had his truck parked. A buddy named Timmy. Man, oh man. They were hanging out by their truck right here after lunch on May 2nd, 1995. Kiplyn was cool, man. Kiplyn was a really good friend of mine. Well, on again, off again. So she had been the best friend of my girlfriend when I was in 8th grade and they were in 9th grade. So that always causes friction, right? Because I wanted her attention and so did she. So there was a little friction, but we got through all that. There might have been a couple of times where we kind of canoodled up to each other maybe. And anyway, we had squashed our beef and things were good. I had been called up from 9th grade to the high school at the end of the year to be in a show called The Foreigner. One of the people who was cast in it for whatever reason couldn't end up doing it, and I had complained to the director that he was doing my favorite show the year before I got there. And so when that guy fell out, he thought of me, called me up. I was like, hooray! So as a 9th grader, I got to go to the high school and be with all the older kids and the cool people. And one of the cool people was my buddy Kiplyn. She was the stage manager of this play at the time she was disappeared. That was in fact why we knew she was gone, because she missed practice that day and she never missed anything drama ever. But we knew something was up. And what was up was that Kiplyn was the kind of person who wanted people to think that she was a certain kind of person, but really she was a sweetheart. You know what I mean? Like, she wanted people to think she was tough sometimes, or that she was like a naughty girl sometimes, but she just wasn't. She was kitty. You know what I mean? She was like a sweetheart, like just a good person. And these two dudes next to this truck in front of my high school were not good people. These were bad people. And I know that firsthand. I can say that straight up. These are bad dudes in 1995. Because I overheard some stuff happening that I probably should have brought someone's attention to and didn't, because I was 14 years old. And I was scared of them, big time scared of them. And that was before I knew that they were murderers. I'm gonna go ahead and say that one too, because I'm pretty sure that's 1000% what happened here, allegedly, for now. Anyway, so here's what I think went down that morning at that school, or that day. It was after lunch. Kiplyn had been flirting. Kiplyn was a pretty big flirt. You could get her to flirt with you pretty quick. So Rucker was a scumbag who would just take advantage of everybody. He was a bully. He was super over the top, aggressively like sexual with everybody. He always wore a big leather jacket. He smoked and he had long hair, and he was just a dick, man. He was just a jerk. And Timmy, I never really interacted with all that much. I think he had a job by then and he wasn't around really. But anyway, so I think Rucker was flirting with Kiplyn. I think he was like, hey, Kiplyn, come with us. It's May. It's, school's over. None of this matters. Let's go hang out. Let's go make out, right? And I think she was like, I don't know. Ooh, okay. I think she decided, I'll be a little bad. I'll be a little naughty. I'll go ahead and slough this one class. I'll go with you for one class. A whole lot of people have wished every day since that she had just gone to class. Because what happened next, having known her, having known how soft, how sweet she was, how innocent she was, what happened next, I can't even fathom the fear, the horror. Oh my gosh. And I can see it playing out in my mind so absolutely clearly. What happened next was they took her up to the train tunnels. We used to go up to the train tunnels a bunch to, whatever, just whatever kids did. But unfortunately on this day, it's what monsters do. Let's go up there. Man, I haven't been up here in a minute. I didn't know that they closed this all off. That's crazy. I wonder what they're doing. I wonder if they're fixing it up to be a campground in there, or if they're doing something else. Anyway, that sucks. The tunnels are right over here. I'm gonna have to go to a different vantage point so you can see them. But they're right back in that. You can see the train line is this lower line right here. That's the train tunnel, or the train track. I'll get to a different vantage point where you can see it. But I'm pretty sure, having been up here a bunch with these people, these exact people, I'm pretty sure it went down right over there. Because that's where we would park, and there was kind of a little clearing. But they drove up here and they parked over there. And I think Timmy probably came over to this river, and I think he was throwing rocks and just doing whatever while Rucker was pawing at Kiplyn. I'm sure they probably made out a little bit. I'm sure that she was probably on board with that, maybe even excited at first. But I think then he wanted more. I think he wanted more, and I think maybe she pulled away and got hurt. My hypothesis has kind of always been that it started as an accident. I think that he maybe touched her boobie or something like that, and she would have freaked out and pulled away. And I think maybe my guess is he grabbed her arm and broke her arm or bruised her or maybe smacked her. I don't believe they came up here with the intention of murdering her. I never have thought that. I think that it was a thing that spiraled out of control, honestly. I think that he was making out with her. I think he wanted more. I think she pulled away. I think maybe an arm got broken, or she got pushed down maybe. That's likely too. Maybe she got tripped or fell and hit her head. Something along those lines, right? I just think the scumbag panicked. And I think he took a great big rock, and I think he smashed her head in with it. I think Timmy ran over and saw what was happening and freaked all the way out. I think Rucker then threatened to murder him next. And I think from that moment on, having watched someone murder a little girl with a rock, that someone would be pretty intimidating to you, wouldn't he? I never saw him do it, and he scares the crap out of me, so I guess that's why Timmy has never had the balls to say what really happened. But you're 50 years old now, dude. I don't know if you ended up having kids, but Timmy, I don't think you killed her. I think you watched it happen. And I can't believe that he still has that much power over you. Rucker, I think if you ever saw this, my dude, I think you'd have chills going down your spine, because that's what happened, isn't it? Tell me I'm wrong. Then they cleared out the truck box, the toolbox at the bed of their truck, and they stuffed her in it. My friend, somebody's little girl. A little girl who liked drama, who loved friends, who loved to laugh, who had amazing red hair and a great big smile. She didn't give him what he wanted, so he snuffed her life out and stuffed her in a truck box.